That was random, there's just some guy taking photos over. But hey guys, welcome to the video. In this one I'm going to be talking a bit about how to stay safe when you are on a motorcycle and what I do and the things I keep in my mind to try and stay as safe as possible. So it's no secret, like when you go out on a motorcycle it is dangerous, because obviously you're not protected as much in the shell of a car. You're literally hurling yourself down the road on a bike while there are other massive moving cars around you, so there are dangers to it, and these are the kind of things you can look to do just to stay as safe as possible. So first one, it's kind of an obvious one, but just keep an eye on the weather. Like if it's really wet, you probably don't want to be going out and speeding on the motorbike. I mean, I've ridden in the rain just because I've been caught out, and it hasn't ever felt particularly dangerous, but what I do in those circumstances is just take it as slow as possible, go slow in the corners, try not to be too heavy on the brakes, and then you should be fine. And then ice, I would say definitely do not take the bike out if it's icy, like, you know, but it's so easy for the tyres to slip out on you, and it's not really, I just personally don't think it's worth it. The next one is like getting some good gear. So you want to make sure you've got a helmet that has one of those gold stickers on the back, which is basically like a authentication to say that this really is like a decent helmet and it'll keep your head safe. There are cheaper ones on the market that don't have that badge, but I think if you're looking at something that's going to potentially protect you from smashing your head on the ground, then you want to have something that is sturdy, good quality. And I personally, that's where out of all my kit, that's where I think I spent the most money, was on the helmet, and I'll have no regrets with that. I think it's a sensible thing to do. It was kind of painful, if I'm being honest, spending a good chunk of money on the helmet, especially when I'd already spent money on the bike, CBT and all that good stuff. It did feel like another additional cost, and I was looking at, you know, all the helmets available and seeing if there were cheaper ones, but from what I found, yeah, you want to get one with that gold badge at bare minimum, something that's obviously comfortable, but most importantly will keep your head safe. And then other bits of kit you need, obviously a good jacket. You want something that's thick, specifically made for motorcycling, because then it will have pads like in the elbows and shoulders. And you also want to try and get a jacket that has some sort of protection in the back, so that will like protect your spine if you come off the bike as well. Be looking for that sort of thing when you're looking for a jacket. And then trousers, that's personally where I don't go too over the top with. I think maybe if and when I get a bigger bike, I'll probably look to get some better trousers, but right now I just wear like a good decent thick pair of jeans. From what I've heard, like that should protect from like your, you know, hurting your legs on the road if you do come off. It should protect your skin at least. But I do think maybe I should look at getting some better trousers at some point. And then boots as well, that's another important one. So where I went to do my CBT, they have a poster up on the wall, and it is very graphic. It basically shows what happens if you wear trainers on a motorbike and something goes wrong, and it is not nice. So yeah, that's something else I'd say you want to look at getting. It's just like a decent pair of boots. I don't think they need to be like steel toe cap or anything like that, but they need to be like sturdy to protect your feet, and as well if they have like a bit of ankle support, then that's good as well, because that will, yeah, protect you from smashing your ankles against anything. That's another thing. You can also look at getting like a really bright helmet potentially if you wanted. I don't know if I'd like the attention, so I just stick to a black one, but some people will get like bright green helmets, or you can get some that have like loads of graphics and stickers all over them, so that's something else to keep in mind. So that's the gear, and then I'll probably do another video where I go into this in more detail, but I also try to drive defensively. So you've probably heard that term before, and this might not be the exact definition, but from my opinion on what that means is that you assume drivers, basically you assume the worst could happen. So if you see a driver pulling out and you're not sure if he's seen you, don't just hope for the best, like actually think, oh right, he might actually probably hasn't seen me, so let's drive defensively, let's slow down, let's give him space, and let's see what happens next. And while I'm driving defensively, I'm also constantly scanning the road as well and checking my mirrors. So my eyes, like, yeah, I'll be interested to see if I could get like an eye tracker or something, because they are like constantly darting around, checking drives, checking anywhere where like a vehicle, a pedestrian or car might pull out of. I try and look there and just make sure. Never try and assume anything. Always try and make sure you know what the other drivers are doing. And that might be like making eye contact with them, so then you know they've seen you 100%. But even then, even with eye contact, if the driver's just out of it, they might still pull out. So yeah, just make sure you've got enough space to brake, so if they do pull out, you can react and you don't have to have an accident. So there's just a few tips. If you found it interesting and you'd like to hear more about this sort of thing, comment below and I'll try and do some more content around this for you guys. But yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.